1:25 p.m. Seth.
That's what she said.
My God.
I know. Gold. Comedy silver.
Comedy silver. That's what we go for.
Yeah.
If you shoot for the gold,
second place.
If you shoot for the gold, you end up among the medals. That's the phrase, right?
Yeah. I think that wife beater said it, right? Go to the moon.
That wife beater. It's a good way to describe.
Jackie Gleason, is that him? Right.
I was gonna say Chris Brown, but
What? Umbrella. Okay.
Hey, I'm Dane.
I'm Graham. Welcome to this goddamn cast.
This goddamn cast.
Why you really hit that note? You say you suck at singing, but you didn't.
I did not hit that note.
You totally did it, dude. You hit it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Keep it in. Keep it in. Well, you're going to have a different experience on video and audio because we each edit one of them.
Yep. So if you're listening to this only, sorry, but not sorry too. No, the other way around. If you're watching this, sorry. If you're listening to this, hello, I'm Dane.
And yes, I'm Graham. All right. Yeah, we're here today.
Cut
Junior.
that.
We're here to talk about Malignant, the new James Wan directed horror film.
Malignant.
Written by Akela Cooper.
Which is another name for a tumor.
For my asshole.
Your asshole's a tumor?
No, it's malignant.
Oh, so it's malicious towards you?
Towards a lot of people.
What does malignant mean?
It means you need to go back to school.
Malignant. Well, I know what malignant, like,
I think it just means bad. Bad.
Malignant.
I got $100 on bad.
Bad. You got it.
Hey, $100, please.
Malevolent. Or of a disease, very virulent or infectious. So.
Virulent, I'm talking about venereal.
Yeah, you want a wanga? Want to see my wanga?
Shove it up your ass, bitch.
Let's bring back all the...
Just keep saying
tropes.
Catchphrases.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I'll say, can't poop poop. Anyway.
You can't poop poop?
That's why it's malignant. All right, yeah. So going into this movie, I didn't know what to expect.
I didn't either.
So I follow him on Instagram, and he said not to go in expecting another Conjuring type film. So I'm glad I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't expect some like haunted house, spooky ghost movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
By the way, I figured out that I have seen The Conjuring.
I thought you said that.
No, I said I didn't. I haven't seen The Conjuring.
Okay.
I saw Insidious, remember?
Ah, right.
But
right.
I have seen The Conjuring.
Yes.
And Insidious.
That's good. Another 2 of his movies.
Yeah, I remember liking The Conjuring a lot. Like actually being scared.
Yeah,
usually,
the first one was really good.
Like usually with like the horror exorcism stuff, I don't get too scared because I'm like, this is just fucking bullshit. Especially like, what was the movie, Exorcism of Emily Rose? I was not scared at all during that movie because...
It was too by the numbers.
Yeah. Well, and also like it was based on a real event where it was just a lady who had mental problems and she should have been hospitalized, but the priest decided to do an exorcism on her, and that
he was trying to get elected to hit the Vatican. So.
And he eventually went to jail. So
Vatican jail, where they have a lot of underage boys.
Mm-hmm. So they send all the boys that come out against them.
They come out. Anyway, I made a list.
Cut that.
Anyway, I made a list of pros and cons. I think that's going to be what I'm going to do the rest of the episodes.
I made a list of funny parts I wanted to talk about. So
yeah, I put that in the cons.
Dane's list of funny parts. Cons. All right. Go. Let's jump into it.
Well, first, I want to talk about the cinematography. It was fantastic. It was quite...
I thought we were starting with the cons. Sorry.
Oh, you want to start with that?
Or was that a con? That the cinematography was good?
Yes. I hate seeing movies with great cinematography. No, we can start with the cons.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's start with pros.
Well, the prose is really, really long for me.
So it's almost like a Shakespearean prose?
It had great cinematography. And we were talking after the movie about that house scene where she was like walking around the house, but it had like a bird's eye view, and the camera was tracking her. And I was like, they must have built the set, like the actual set of the house, and then put a camera on like a rail to follow her around. So I thought that was really sick. That was a cool way to give you the layout of the house, even though you didn't really need it, but it was still cool.
Mm-hmm. And I also liked it because they also showed like it showed her like she was on like the bottom level. And then when you were going over certain parts, it had the top level over her. So you could still see like the layout of like where the top level was to the bottom level. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty cool. And then it had classic James Wan's like misty fog stuff all over the place.
There was one scene that literally had a tube that just pumped out James Wan fog.
Which scene?
The scene where the police officers following the jank you thing and the this is spoilers, by the way. Spoilers.
Yeah. When he's following the backwards man?
Yeah, he's following the backwards man. And he's in that abandoned warehouse with like all those like carts
like
and
the
everything.
Seattle underground, old Seattle.
Yeah, and there's just like a tube on the side that's like pumping out like
I didn't even see
fog.
that. Oh, right. I was right in the beginning when he first entered.
Yeah, when he first entered.
The boiler room.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I literally saw him like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Literally,
at least it was like motivated. Like when he gets to the part where like the carriages are, it's just covered in fog and just for no reason. Mm-hmm. Like, is he astral projecting now?
But is this where Seattle pumps out their unneeded fog?
It's all the vape smoke from smoking their vape pens, you know?
Yeah, right? Yep. All the Seattleites, you know.
They love their cancer. Anyways, moving on.
They also love space needles.
What are you gonna do
the more
with those
you
tossed
know.
salad and scrambled eggs? You're gonna eat them up. Yeah.
We're gonna come back to smooth jazz later.
Yes. Oh, and then the opening scene with the house. It's like a signature move for, at least with not in the Conjuring series as much, but definitely in Insidious, with like the fog and then that one light on the house or a street light.
Yeah.
It's very striking picture. And it's like his signature.
Yeah.
It's like how you know it's him.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's like people that like dot their eyes with hearts.
Or a little ball sack.
Yep.
A little wrinkly
that's what that
ball
was.
sack. Yeah. It's upside down.
I thought it was just like a W, but it's a ball sack. Okay.
It's a wubbo you.
It's a wubba sack.
Yeah. Wubba sack. Yeah, so I can keep going, or if you had some pros you want to go into.
I mean, I have my big song stuff that I liked.
Yeah. I put the score on my pros, so
yeah,
we talk about that.
Talk about that. Okay, so this movie had a really good soundtrack, and let's look up who did the music for it, because I want to actually shout him out, because they did
Justin
really.
Bieber. Oh fuck.
He nailed it.
Respect, dude.
Wow.
Biebs.
The BBs. That's what us Beeb heads call them, you know.
BB.
BB.
Come here, BB. Give us a little kiss.
Give me a
Kissy
little
kiss.
BB. Wanna see my wanga.
Cancelled.
Writing,
Don't ever approach someone
directing.
saying, "Come here, BB. Want to see my wanga?"
Joseph Bishara did the music.
I've never heard of him. What else has he done?
Let's look him up.
Or they? I don't know what pronouns they use.
Yeah, they could be something else. They did Insidious.
Oh, yeah, I could see. I hear the violin. Little just
Well,
like that.
No, I'll say they're doing the new Insidious. I don't know if they did.
There's another one?
They did the Conjuring, so that makes sense. No, they're doing the new Conjuring.
What?
No, they did do Insidious Chapter 2 and then Insidious. Okay.
Good God, man. Learn how to read.
I forgot it starts at the latest and goes to the earliest. Like, he also did.
It's like the backwoods man, dude.
That's did Annabelle. So he's basically James Wan's right-hand man.
It's just James Wan.
It's just his pseudonym.
He just wears a mustache.
Yeah, this picture looks strikingly similar. Actually, his picture is very... he's just looking, and it's very stylized. So
I need to find it. I'll just go. You don't need it. Wow. It's a good composition.
yeah, it looks very good. Oh, the audio stopped.
And we're done. Good night.
Make sure the audio is still going. Yep.
Good night and luck good.
For those of you listening, my computer screen is one that it's a laptop, but it can fold back. So I folded it back. I threw it back. And then
Threw it back? Hey.
I threw it back so Graham could see it across the table.
Hey, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying.
Those pussy lips.
Just don't talk. I couldn't think of a better thing to say. I just like, don't talk.
It worked.
Yeah. So the music was very well done. Obviously, very Insidious style and ominous and whatnot. But there was a lot of overarching themes that basically brought in Where Is My Mind by the Pixies.
Yeah.
And it's very blatant. Like if you listen to Where Is My Mind and you listen to this, even has the like haunting ooh that goes on in the Where Is My Mind. It even had that at a couple points.
And it also fits with the story because the guy is like, "Where is my mom?"
There it is. That's why he chose it, I'm sure. Just don't talk. That's my new catchphrase.
Just don't talk.
Don't talk. So yeah, and obviously that song is very popular because of the Pixies, but it also was very popular because of Fight Club. It very
Yeah.
You picked a lot. Can you? I'm just gonna turn you down a little bit.
All the way.
Yeah. So it was in Fight Club.
Hiya.
I'm gesturing to you to do Fight Club stuff.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Hey, spoilers for Fight Club, by the way.
Yeah.
So because of that, he used that song because it very prevalently plays at the very end. And that movie, spoilers, is very famous for having somebody that has dual personalities.
I didn't know they had a lot of spoilers in it. Is it in the Fast and Furious universe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Cool.
Yeah, it actually, at the very end, Edward Norton's like, you caught me at a very strange time in my life. And Vin Diesel's like, yeah, be well, family.
It's just be a family.
Family.
You having a stroke?
Family means, Moana means family. Family means never given up.
Wanga means family, do you?
Hey, Wanga.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
I really liked the score. It was great.
I thought that was a cool nod, and obviously it was done on purpose. Where,
Milady?
Where did that come from?
It's a nod.
It's a nod, my lady. I used to wear a fedora in high school. I used to be the fedora guy.
I wore one too. I had like vests and French cuffed shirts.
I used to be like, hello, my ladies. Would you like to join my Dungeons and Dragons League? It's actually not nerdy anymore.
It's all cool now.
Yeah, I still play Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, in high school, I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons.
Because you didn't want to be ridiculed?
Yeah. I was already wearing a fucking fedora. Jesus Christ.
You need to give him more ammo.
So, yeah, that's my pick.
Hey, anyway.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the score was fantastic.
I thought that was cool. How not only did but what's cool is that they didn't just play the song Where Is My Mind at the end. To be like, oh, this is from that other movie, the guy with the thing. He actually incorporated it into the score. I thought that was cool.
I'm Brad Pitt. Just comes out. He's the villain.
I'm here.
I fight. Anyway.
You guys want to join a club? I can't talk about it though.
What?
Can't talk about the club. Can't talk about.
Seems like a pretty cool club, but I want to know more.
All right, next pros.
Reminded me, the creature design reminded me of Cronenberg.
Oh yeah,
with his body horror stuff. Mm-hmm. And have you seen The Brood? I recommend it. It's like a nice 70s body horror, weird horror movie. Ooh. About this woman just giving birth to these weird, fucked up children who keep murdering people. Oh. It's pretty great.
Is it like a B horror movie, or is it like an actual like?
Actually, the story's pretty good, but the way the elements are B movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with B horror movies; those are also great.
Yeah, but it's like it's not over dramatic. It can be at times, but it's not. What's a good B horror movie? Like one of those 1950s B movies with the giant ants or
With, like,
something.
the robots.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
obviously
not
a
like
guy
that.
in like boxes.
Yeah, like the special effects are pretty good.
Nice.
But it reminded me of that because like of all the weird body horror stuff that Cronenberg does. And I thought the creature design was really cool
Cool.
for
Yeah.
in this movie. With
Oh, in this
Gabriel.
movie. Okay. Yeah. No,
He,
I
like-
thought it was very well done.
Yeah. And he was super creepy because he's like walking backwards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm the backwoods man, I can move backwards as fast as you can.
And what is that from?
That's called Freddy Got Molested.
Freddy got canceled.
Yes. Yeah, Freddy Got Fingered. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Just be in for a lot of shocked humor.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff, so.
Yeah.
On
So
the side of the road and that fucking deer carcass.
that's literally all I could think about. Doesn't he get hit by a car then? Because he's like,
I forgot.
doesn't he hit the deer and then he
yeah.
skins the deer?
Oh, because
and
he's like
then-
feels so bad.
But then he skins the deer.
And he
and
puts
starts
it on.
becoming the deer. Like so fucking
crazy.
stupid.
It's so crazy.
Tom Green was an institution back in the day.
He was.
That was what, late 90s?
Yeah, early 2000s, I think, for the
Yeah.
movie. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, just reminiscent of Cronenberg stuff. If you audience, if you haven't seen any of Cronenberg stuff, I recommend to go see it. Yeah, but if you're not into like body horror, if you get queasy easily, I wouldn't recommend that.
Well, and there's a big whole thing, episode of Rick and Morty that literally deals with Cronenberg, and there's like a whole world of Cronenberged
Yep.
people.
That's his
Uses it
that's
as
his
a verb.
vibe.
Yep.
And he remade The Fly with
That's for those of you listening at home. He literally turned into Jeff Goldblum. So.
Yes. Did you know I can't do an impression. I'm not good. I wouldn't do him justice.
Yeah.
I can only do his laugh.
I can't do it. All I know is You didn't say the magic word.
Yeah. That's Newman.
And I'm just doing Jurassic Park in general.
Oh. I watched part of it last night.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on. More.
Oh, I did want to say that we were actually talking after the movie that, at least I felt this way, and I think you were agreeing with me, but I don't want to put words in your mouth, that I felt like a lot of movies, when they reveal the monster, it doesn't become scary anymore.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, oh, now we know what it is. And that's how I feel a lot about, like, I like the Michael Myers movies and Jason and all that, but
That was a big downfall of The Quiet Place because they showed it like right in the beginning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this one, like, I don't know why, but after it was revealed, I feel like it got even more scary, or even was just the same amount of scare.
Yeah.
Because after you're seeing it, you're like, oh God, this thing's fucked up.
Yeah. It's so creepy because it's so unique and new. You don't expect it to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that in real life, or that
Yeah.
being a part of you. Mm-hmm. Terrifying.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like walking backwards and like
With
that
a briefcase
whole,
and a suit on backwards, it's going backwards man to backwards man.
It's the backwoods man.
No one's gonna understand these references.
Yeah.
No one's seen that movie except for me.
I haven't even seen it. I just remember that scene.
I love that movie. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, because like that's a big downfall of a lot of horror movies, as you said, or as I said.
That they go backwards.
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
No, is that once they show the monster, like your imagination loses out. Like that's the best way to freak someone out, is let them use their own imagination against themselves to be freaked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's why The Witch works so well, because they never really show the witch.
What?
The Witch.
The Vivitch?
God damn it! Walked into that one.
Yeah, you did.
All right, vavoked into that one, I should say.
Oh man, a Vivana Vivanga.
Want to see my Vavanga? Shove it up your ass, bitch. Bitch.
Yeah, Vitch. No.
Yeah, but that's why the Witch worked so well, because it was just like an idea. They referenced the witch, like they never really showed it.
Mm-hmm.
Her. And then when they show at the end of The Witch, spoilers if you haven't seen The Witch, but when like the goat turns into the devil, they don't show his face. He's just like in the background walking. It's so much more creepy than like, I am the devil. Give me your soul. You could be a powerful lady. That's how he talks.
Well, and a big part of this is that, so like James Wan even said, don't go into this thinking this is a Conjuring or something like that.
Yeah.
But in the trailers, they literally had a scene where the lane lady's like, the voice I heard was the devil.
Oh, right.
So going into this, I thought that it was like, okay, yeah, it's going to be just the
Fucking
same
bullshit.
kind of thing. But then it turned out to be this whole other, monstrosity. And I thought that was almost a good psych out on the trailer makers, you know?
Yeah, it was really awesome. That's probably how they get people to come in, because like if they're like, you have your weird tumor brother as a monster is killing people, come see our movie. Huh?
That's the first working title of it. Tumor
brother murder man. Tumor brother murder backwards man. Yes. Yeah, and on the pros, I said leaned into the more outlandish parts, but grounded itself with like a real phenomena.
Yeah,
because that's it talked about like the grounded part was like having the tumor or growth of like a tumor that had teeth and hair and stuff. Like that's a real thing, and there's a real like case of a guy back in the day with like an actual face on the back of his head, and he said it talked to him, and I'm sure that's inspired James Wan and these other people who helped him with the story.
And I've also heard that like some tumors can grow teeth, can grow hair.
Yeah.
Because it's just like your own cells are kind of like malforming and doing crazy stuff. And that's what cancer is. So.
And it's super, super creepy. And then they just ran with it and turned it into an actual like, kind of like they talked about it in
they
like.
backwards ran with it.
This, they sure did. He was very talented.
He was.
Yeah. But, they talk about how like in utero, how one of the weaker twin will get absorbed by the stronger twin if there's not enough nutrients or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that does happen in real life. So kind of, it really grounded itself in real science, but then made it science fiction, obviously, because that won't happen.
Right. Yeah.
God, I hope not. That would be terrifying.
Yeah. Because that was borderline like, yeah. It had magical powers and was the strongest thing ever.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, super crazy.
Like, I don't know about you, but I can barely lift forward, let alone backward.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Gotta do a lot of dips.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. And a lot of rows. Gotta use your back muscles.
Yeah.
He must have been a climber.
That's it.
Strong backs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and like that's probably a better way because you won't have back problems because the back is just your other person's abs.
It's your back core.
Yeah, backwards core.
Backwards core. You gotta do backwards sit-ups. Really good for your spine. But yeah, excuse me. And then like one other. Well, I put it in. It's an original slasher flick. Like it had the elements like when he takes the trophy, he turns it into a weapon, and he like every time he like lifts it up, it's like shing. Definitely reminiscent of like the old slasher flicks from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
But they finally like, I love slasher movies, but they're so bleh because they just follow a formula like big dude kills all the teenagers. Mm-hmm. But this one like is an original idea of some weird backwards dude, but it still paid homage or tribute to the old ones that came before it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was still creepy.
Yeah, still very creepy.
Like slasher flicks don't really scare me anymore. Even the new Halloween, it wasn't scary. Mm-hmm. It was like well made, but it wasn't creepy to me.
Which we're gonna do the new Halloween.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Halloween Kills.
Yeah,
should be coming out next month.
Yep.
For Halloween. Halloween.
All Hallows Weens. That's what they call it, right?
My ween is Halloween. Yes. And then big thing. I don't know if this was intentional, but at the end when she like locked him away in her mind prison, it felt like a feminist metaphor for what's happening now with women's bodies being like ruled by the patriarchy even more. Like with the abortion ban in Texas, which is so you can go to jail and
people that
even assisting people to get an abortion.
Well, and anybody can sue anybody,
yeah,
even if they don't
ridiculous.
have a personal damages for it.
Yeah,
and they will get just $10,000. They say You get 10. It's basically like a reward. It's like a bounty system for turning in.
That's so terrible. It's
abortion
such a bad
people.
idea.
Yeah, it is. Because, like, for me personally, I think that sets a really bad precedent going forward for for all people that can sue. Because if you were setting up a precedent now where somebody who's not even involved that can get damages for something that didn't even damage them, then what's to stop that same precedent being used for anything else?
Right.
Like, oh, you were in a car crash with somebody I know, so I'm going to sue you.
Because you hurt my mental health.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you still feel bad, but you don't. It's not right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why in our litigation system that you have to be directly damaged in order to get compensated. But the fact that somebody doesn't even have to be damaged in order for that to happen. Yeah. That's a really bad precedent.
That's a lot of hearsay.
Going forward. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that was, well, at least I related it. I don't know if it was intentional on the screenwriter's part, but it definitely felt that way because she definitely talked about it's my body, I control it, blah, blah, blah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, I
Plus
liked it.
It also had a lot of stuff with just like mental health in general. That's a big thing nowadays.
That's what I love about like horror movies now. They're a lot more artful than they used to be because it's being taken seriously as a genre.
Yeah.
Or at least by people like James Wan and Robert Eggers, who directed the other movie with the person in the forest in the olden times. I'm not saying the name. I'll just put it on the screen.
Does it have 2 V's in it?
It has a shove it up your ass, bitch.
Yeah, the bitch.
God damn it. But yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I thought that I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's a good way to look at that.
Yeah.
So.
I thought that was cool. And I have 2 more pros.
I will say that obviously this set up for a sequel.
Oh, I put that's in the cons. We can talk about that on the second half.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Okay. And then other pan was a cool action sequences, like in the police station. I thought it was really well directed and just cool.
Mm-hmm. Plus it showed like
good description. Oh yeah, we got cut off there by the timer, but we'll just finish with this pro and then we'll move on to the cons.
Well, what I was gonna say is, even though it was well lit, I thought it was still very creepy. It just showed like how like unstoppable this the freaking thing was, and I thought that was
like, how would you fight a backwards person?
Yeah.
Like when that one detective came out and he broke her wrists, it was just like bam. I was like, damn. Mm-hmm. And it was just really cool, and I feel like that was influenced by his he produced Mortal Kombat. He was slated to direct it as well, but he didn't.
Oh.
And he also he was like a producer for another big comic book movie. It was like about robots, like Robotron or something. Oh. But he's directing the Aquamans, and I feel like he used what he learned in the first Aquaman and brought it into this one. Mm-hmm. Of how to like frame it and show it, and it was just like so you could see everything happening, which wasn't just like some of the problems that we talked about in Shang-Chi and like other poorly directed, like it wasn't poorly lit, it wasn't too close to the actions so you can see anything. So I thought it was well done.
Like that was a lot of problems that plagued Black Widow.
Oh,
remember? Yeah. That was a big thing that we've talked about in other casts.
Yes, go listen to them.
All right, you're the pro.
Yep, and last one, just a little thing. Zoe Bell at the end. She was the blonde lady who picked the fight with Madison, and she's a stunt woman who was in a lot of Quentin Tarantino's stuff. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I just liked seeing her outside of his universe.
Yeah, I thought she played very well. Person who was a piece of shit.
Yeah, she's good. She's a good stunt woman. She's talented.
Mm-hmm. And I guess segueing that into a con, I didn't like how the initial like people that died, like her husband was just such a stereotypical piece of shit. You know? Yeah. And like I understand like that had to happen, but like they basically just dived right into him being just a piece of shit.
Right.
So you didn't feel bad that he died.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it would have hit more to home if he did die, because it's like something like some accident would have happened. He'd been like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," instead of him being like, "You fucking suck."
Right.
That's my impression of domestic abuse. So
Fucking suck.
domestic
Canceled.
abuse is a real thing. If you need help, get help.
Yeah, we can put the hotline here.
Yeah. And so I thought it was just like, it's very stereotypical, like, and there are people out there that are that piece of shit, but
Right.
I felt like it would have hit home more if he would have, like, it would have been an accident, but then obviously Gabriel, who comes alive at that point, would have been like, this guy did it, I'm gonna kill him.
Right.
And I feel like it would have been a little bit more heavy-handed, because at the end
Yeah, it was just well, I guess they probably needed it to like make her a suspect. The cops needed that for their motivation before they knew what was really happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I agree. It was just kind of like she gets home. I already could tell because he's watching UFC and he's like in the bedroom. Yeah, he's gonna be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was just kind of like rushed. Like, stereotype.
Yeah.
And then I'm murdered.
Yeah, and it's just like turns off the TV. I was watching that. Where's my beer and sandwich?
Yeah, suck my dick. And then that's how Gabriel is released. He smashes her head against the wall. I thought that was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't feel like that should have changed. Definitely her having her head smashed was a good way to awaken it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it would have been better if, like, maybe something accidentally happened.
Yeah, and like more of an emotional beat.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with you there.
So.
Yeah, for some of one of the cons was like some of the dialogue felt stilted. Like in the beginning, we were talking about that. And,
That's one of my funny points, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go into that if you want.
So one of the opening scenes, the doctor is, they're trying to go after Gabriel, who is going crazy and actually killing people.
It's before we know what he is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like the guy, one of the security guys takes out this giant tranquilizer gun and like pulls it out, and he puts his hand in, and then his arm gets pulled in.
Clever girl.
Broken like usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
just
really. It reminds me of the beginning of Jurassic Park.
Is that why you watch Jurassic Park? Because you're like, everything in this reminds me of it.
This is just a remake, a reimagining.
So yeah, then she shoots Gabriel with the tranquilizer, and she says the iconic line, "Need to cut out the cancer."
Yeah. I thought that was that was like a B movie line, the way it was shot, because it was very like over dramatic, but I liked it.
Yeah, need to cut out the cancer.
She's very evil scientist ETD.
But then she says I was like, how could this actress have said this and not just laughed?
Yeah.
She like looks at Gabriel as they're like trying to like remove him from Emily and just goes, "You've been a bad boy. You need a spanking." I added that last part, but
yeah, and he was like, "Okay, please,
please come over here, doctor."
Yes.
That's how Gabriel talks. Hello there.
Hello there. Spank me, my little bottom. But it's not my bottom, it's actually her vagina.
That's good. It's good. You even had the spatial awareness to know that it was the other side.
See, I know. Well done. I know anatomy. Well done. I got an A in high school in anatomy.
I never took it, so I know a lot.
Well, just a lot of remembering stuff, and I'm good at remembering things.
Yeah. Well, I do online research on right-wing blogs. They know a lot about it, women's anatomy.
Yeah, they sure do. Yeah. They're experts.
Mm-hmm. They know their stuff.
They sure do. And
I don't know if you know this, but women, when they get raped and they start having a baby, they can just stop the pregnancy themselves. Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane.
That's magic.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So
I'm glad Jordan Peterson told me that.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember who said that, but
I think it was Ben Shapiro Peterson Jordan.
I like Hassan Abi's thing. He calls Ben Shapiro. He calls him Ben Shabibo.
Shabibo. That man is dumb. Anyway, moving on.
Ben Shapiro's dumb.
Yeah.
That's what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's very stupid.
Yes. Okay.
Hot take.
Anyway.
And yeah, and then at the end, it was kind of needed because I needed to like wrap it up when the hospital bed gets thrown onto Sydney, and she like lifts him up, and she was like, it's my body too. Because she's like, no, it's too heavy. It's like, he did everything with my body. I can do it too. And she like lifts it off. I'm kind of glad they wrote it, but it was just the way it was said. It was like,
yeah.
It was like obviously trying to fill a plot hole that critics will latch onto. Mm-hmm. But they could have, it would have been hard. Then they would have to like go into a whole thing to not say that line.
Yeah.
But it was just, it did feel stilted. And also at the end where like, I don't know if like it was the emotional scene between the sisters. I just it resonated with me, but not enough.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
That like that end
scene very cheesy.
Like, I may not have bloodlines, but you're always gonna be my sister. And it was like,
I'll always love you.
I'll always love you.
Yeah. It just felt really hallmarky and cheesy.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Madison, like, I just need something with biological relations so I could feel human. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And she said that before we knew she was adopted. I was like, is she just like a piece of shit? You don't care about your sister?
Well, the worst part about that is that's how the sister found out too. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm adopted. And I want to find someone who's not fucking you and your goddamn piece of shit family.
You fail as an actor. Yeah, so it was weird.
Yeah,
to me,
I agree.
It doesn't ruin the movie for me, but it was just like took me out of it for a moment.
Yeah, and there were some of those scenes where it's just like as it was going, it just like took you out of it. Like we were talking about, like I really liked the fight scene in the action scene. I call it action scene because it's not like a horror scene. The action scene in the police station. Mm-hmm. But there were times where it like cut back to Emily's face on Gabriel's like back, and it's just too. Like
it's really cool. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it definitely had that weird like that'll like.
Awkward. I'm glad they didn't like zoom in on it while he was killing people. It's just a close up on her closed face.
Been funny if she was just like talking like, "Stop it, Gabriel, I don't like this.
Gabriel,
knock it off.
Those are my friends." Only friend is me.
I will kill them all.
No. Yeah. And
that's really corny. Cut that. Cut that.
Leave it in.
It's going in the video.
Yeah. Yeah, I put that on my cons list. Definitely.
Yeah.
And what else is on your
haha on my list? Haha list is when they had the jump scare of the sister in the window when she climbs.
Oh, right.
That was just so dumb to me. Just like, hello.
Hello there.
She's like, what are you doing? And even like Emily's just sitting there like staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Like the mark from her head that hit the wall, and then she pans over. Ah!
What the fuck? You're not my sister.
She's like, can you let me in? I did actually think it was funny, the line. She's like, Mom made a casserole. I couldn't climb with it, so it's downstairs.
Yeah, she was like part of the comedic relief of the movie.
Yeah.
I loved her whole thing about the psychic.
Yeah.
She's like, and then they talk about the hypnotist. She's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
As her fucking like, her sister's going through this like trauma, and she's like, yes, I was right.
I was right. Yeah, and like that other cop too, not the main one, but which was kind of stereotypical sassy black.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Which was a little.
Her name was Regina Moss.
Yeah,
the character.
But she was more the no nonsense, which I thought wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
but,
it was like on borderline.
Yeah, but she's just like, this is a hypnotherapist, not a fucking psychic.
Yeah.
Like
you stupid ass motherfucker. Yes.
Shove it up, yes,
bitch.
Blondie.
Yeah, and then what else?
I have the scene where the doctor from the beginning that screams, "You've been a bad boy. You've been your naughty
Florence
boy."
Weaver.
She's Dr. Naughty.
Naughty
Boy. She got called up by Gabriel. It's like, gotta cut out the cancer. Justice. Sorry, I just
and she's like, what? Who is this?
Nothing ever came out of a gun that had justice.
Batman? Is that you? Batman?
So yeah, she gets a call and then she like gets all freaked out and she walks over and picks up a picture that we later understand to be Emily as a young child. And as she picks it up, then it goes like, "What
are you gonna do with those tossed salad and scrambled eggs? They're gone again."
And she like looks at it in this way that's like, and I was like, it almost looked like she was longingly looking at a picture of like an old lover.
Emily, I miss you.
No, it looked like she was looking at a picture of like an old lover that she met on like the beach. She's like, "Oh man,
take my
Dolph, I love you."
Smooth jazz.
But yeah.
Welcome to 8:30 a.m. radio.
They're calling again.
Bow, bow.
So yeah, which was kind of because it went from like being scary, like she's gonna get hunted down by Gabriel, to being like, "Oh, I remember that."
What a great time.
It was very jarring.
It was a
took out of the
jarring
movie.
cut.
Yeah.
And then on my last thing on my cons list was unnecessary sequel bait. I was like, this movie doesn't need a sequel. I feel like the studio either made them leave it open for possibility. Mm-hmm. So it was a good story. It was like wrapped up. They could have just ended it.
It's done.
But obviously Gabriel will probably break out again.
Yeah.
And do another killing spree. And then it'll be bad.
But now they know who Gabriel is, so it's just going to be like he's going to be the new monster.
Yeah, it's just going to be like all the Friday the 13th and all the Halloweens. It's like, we know who's the bad guy.
Yeah. And I think everybody can say that Friday the 13th was really good because in the end it wasn't Jason. It was his mom.
Exactly. And then from then on it was just bad.
And then it was just Jason. And you're like, "Oh, okay, he's just the monster now."
And then, speaking of this YouTube video, I think I talked about it either offline or with you on another episode. It was like the anatomy of a jump scare. And they showed a version of a bad one, which is a Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. And then a good version was Insidious.
Yeah.
So it was like the scene where the red guy pops up for the first time behind Patrick Wilson's character and his mom sees him. Mm-hmm. Just for a second, just out of nowhere. They're just like talking and all of a sudden it's like, bah! And I was like, that was fucking good.
Yeah.
But the Friday the 13th one, it was like they show Jason right away and then they cut to the people he's following in this like brightly lit city. And then they keep cutting back to Jason, and then they cut to him after they see him, and it's supposed to be a jump scare. But it's like, we already know he's there.
There he is.
Oh, okay. Well, he's just walking, so we're fine.
Yeah, we got some time. You guys want to get some dinner?
Get some sushi. It's good here. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of what was it? Paranormal Activity 4. That whole movie, all the jump scares in that was just editing jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Like somebody would walk out of the room and then it would cut to them now being in the room. So it'd be a jump scare because it was jarring, but it wasn't anything scary. It was just like they cut out the part where they walked back in the room.
Wow, that freaks me. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh my god.
So that, I did not. I thought the movie was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one was really cool. Then they just turned into shit. As it usually goes for horror movie sequels.
And I enjoyed like the second one and the marked ones. I thought was pretty good. But I don't
think I've seen the marked ones. I think I've only seen 1 and 2.
And maybe
3.
It. I thought it was cool.
4, I don't remember.
But it definitely suffered from its like shoving up its own ass,
Yes, bitch.
And like, it went off of like the scary, spooky ending of the first Paranormal Activity, but there's a separate ending out there that I thought was actually really good.
Oh, really?
But it was a self-contained one. It would have put an end to the series where she like kills she's the one who like kills her like boyfriend, and then she like goes up into her room and just sits there like rocking back and forth for like 2 days, and people are calling her. And
I remember that. Up. Yeah, I saw that ending.
And then people go and knock on the door. And then I think somebody gets in and they're like, "Oh my God." And then the next scene is the police coming up and looking at her. And then she gets up with the knife and gets gunned down.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a cooler ending.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have led to, 5 fucking other movies.
Money. It wouldn't have led to money.
Wouldn't have led to money.
Capitalism ruins movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to Malignant. I don't have anything else on the cons list. I don't think anything else that I need to bring up.
Nope.
But Annabelle Wallis, the main actor, she was in Annabelle, the first Annabelle. So,
Yeah. Emily, her name was Madison. It's funny because the girl who played her mom's younger self was named Madison. I thought that was just a cool coincidence.
oh really?
Yeah. It's one of those like, oh, I see where they got the name Madison.
Yeah. Zoe Bell is credited as Scorpion. Love that.
Scorpion as Zoe Bell.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. When in the beginning of the scene, when they walk, they're right outside Gabriel's room, and someone gets thrown out, and then the nurse that's staying on the other side of the door, and they cut closer. Did you see who it was?
Is it Naxunamun?
Yeah. I was like, a Naxunamun! I almost screamed it out in the theater. My love! Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah. I actually didn't recognize her at first. I had to look her up later to see who it was, but I was like, oh my God, it's a Naxunamun.
Is her name Patricia Vega, I think, or something?
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about...
Patricia Velasquez.
We seem to have just the weirdest people in the theaters with us.
Oh, those old people?
Yeah. Do you realize?
I didn't expect these like older women to be watching this movie.
Yeah.
But they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, they seem to like it.
Like at least they laughed at parts. It was funny.
I enjoyed when when Madison's mom, who you don't know is her mom at this point, she's down in the underground of Seattle
right.
and gets taken out by Gabriel. She looks down this corridor and hears noises and is like, we're closed, get out of here. And then she's like, hello. And then she's like walking down the corridor, but she literally turned off the lights in this corridor. And then she looks down the corridor to see if anybody's down there, and she starts walking down there without turning the lights back on.
Yeah.
And it was like super quiet. And the ladies next to us were like, why did she just turn the lights back on? And I was like, we're all thinking it. And I'm glad these old ladies said it, because I was thinking the same fucking thing.
I was like, yeah, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah. And I was about to be like, yeah, right?
Yeah. Hey, good one. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. But then I felt like if I would have done that, then it would have been like this whole back and forth with us and the old ladies.
And we just do the podcast about them.
Yeah. But I still thought it was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. They were good. And I remember at the end, they're like, they said something about that director was really on to weird something, or I couldn't hear them perfectly, but they were definitely talking about how weird it was.
That director was on the Mary Jane.
Smoking that devil's lettuce.
I heard about it on Breitbart.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just assume all old people are Republicans and racist.
Well, you're not wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to talk about except for my ass or my opus.
Shove it up your opus.
Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was very good.
Yeah. So I'm glad James Wan's still making horror movies when he has time in between the superhero flicks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he's doing good at those.
Yeah. I actually liked Aquaman. It wasn't a perfect movie, but it was just very entertaining.
Yeah. It was definitely one of the first ones that was like good after Wonder Woman. You're like, oh, here comes Aquaman. Blah. But it was actually good. Yeah,
it was enjoyable. And I'm excited for the newer one.
Yeah, me too.
Saw a screenshot of just homeless Patrick Wilson and next to James Wan.
Nice.
Yeah. I think he's like, here's Patrick Wilson doing his Castaway impression. That's what he looks like, except buff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. We're done with the butts, right?
We're done with the butts?
We talked about that last episode?
Yeah, we did. We're done with the butts. We retired
the butts.
It's too bad. I got a good one this time.
The backwards butt.
You can do backwards butts.
Are we still doing it then?
I mean, I got a good one for this one.
All right. So we're just going to keep going.
Bad boy butts.
Bad boy butts.
You've been a bad boy butts.
Triple B.
But no, I think we should retire the butts.
Yeah.
So, all right. We're going to give a rating. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 8.5. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I thought it was it's one of those movies that I will remember. Like, we've even seen some movies with this podcast that I'm like, oh shit, did we watch that? And we did a podcast on it? Yeah. Shit. Like, what was that one on Netflix where they were able to go back in time? I barely remember that fucking movie.
What?
Yeah, remember that? It has Falcon from
Synchronic.
Yeah, Synchronic, where they can go back into. I fucking don't remember like anything about that movie.
I actually do remember a lot of it.
Well, obviously not, because you didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Well, you threw me off with the time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. You didn't.
Because he has the same last name as me.
All right, go.
Yeah, I'll give it a 8.2496. Just kidding.
Just kidding. Then
give it 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. There wasn't a whole lot of like lack of logic that took me out of it. It was more just the dialogue and mostly dialogue.
Yeah.
And weird sound cuts with smooth jazz. Just Kelsey Grammer in the background. Niles, do you want some sherry? Yes, but go see the movie in theaters if you can. Yeah. Obviously, support theaters. Go to local theater. But if you can't, it's on HBO for like a month as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it. Support us on Patreon and Ko-Fi. Still have the old shirts. I haven't uploaded the new designs. So if you want like limited edition shirts or something, you can get the T-Pick ones.
We have shirts?
Yeah, on Patreon. If you support us, you get shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
And stickers. And a mug.
Why didn't I get a shirt?
Because you're a piece of poop.
Shove it up my ass.
Shove it up your wanga, bitch. And subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify. We're on a bunch of other sites for podcasts, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast.
Are we on SoundCloud?
I think there's like Everything Bagels or something too.
Oh, yeah. Everything, yeah.
No, we're not on SoundCloud.
There's a schmear on there.
Yeah, schmear of something.
Schmear of a wanga.
Yeah, schmear my wanga over it. Yeah.
We want a schmear.
But we're not on SoundCloud because they have a upload limit of like 2 gigabytes. So you can get like half an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Look out for...
I do actually have my music on SoundCloud. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and he does the intro and outro song on the YouTube. Yeah. You put it on the audio apps?
I do, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's on... I started it when I sent you that one.
Oh, cool. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty good. So follow him on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
What's your thing?
Soundpoint Music.
Soundpoint
Music. But I might be changing it.
So stay tuned.
TBD is the name.
And for next week, what we haven't decided the movie yet.
We haven't decided the movie yet. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
We'll call you at like midnight.
We'll let you know next week what we're doing.
So thanks for listening, watching, and we'll see you next week.
Oh wait, isn't there a new Marvel movie coming out?
Eternals?
Yeah, isn't Eternals coming out for next week?
Is it? Well, if it is, we'll do that one.
Yeah.
So it might be Eternals, it might not be.
I gotta look it up.
It'll be a little surprise. He's gonna googe it.
Googe it! November 5th, so no.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Might be the card counter.
It's
the card counter.
Card
Oscar
counter.
Isaac's new movie.
Oh.
It's playing at the Lyric. We can go there instead.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Lyric is our like local
cool hip theater. Has kombucha on tap.
Yeah. We live in Fort Collins. We're not going to tell you where.
You just did?
Well, we're not going to tell you where in Fort Collins.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't know where we live.
I live on Main Street. Come get me.
But I will just say that I really do like the song Old Town Road. Goodbye.
Goodbye.